What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today, we'll be talking about the latest Arsenal news as we prepare for the game against Leeds this weekend. Big game for Arsenal. I know a lot of Arsenal fans on paper are already writing it off as a victory, and I get it. I respect the confidence, but it's going to be a tricky game and a game that we have to make sure we collect the 3 points in. Big up to everyone who tuned in yesterday. We had a fantastic stream with Kevin Campbell yesterday. If you haven't seen that yet, go back and check that out. We got great numbers. And what an epic Champions League watch-along it was yesterday. Manchester City bottled it. Pep bottled it. And Real Madrid make the final. Benzema again, absolutely amazing turnaround. Don Carlo gets them to the final against Liverpool. What a game that's going to be. Yes, big up KG. I put the link out. If you haven't seen the preview I did with KG earlier on his channel, go and check that out. We did a Leeds v Arsenal preview. Obviously, got a little bit more insight into Leeds United as well. But listen, we can't overlook this game because these are the games at times that we've dropped points in. You know, Burnley at home, Brighton at home. Who else? Norwich we struggled to beat at home. So we got to handle business and we need a favour from Liverpool on Saturday night. That is for damn sure. We need them to roll Tottenham over. Big up Andrew said checking in from Mississippi, farming the sheep. Big up Captain Sal. See you, net. Big up, bro. Big up. You must be a happy Liverpool fan right now. Liverpool fans seem very happy with the fact they're going to be playing Madrid. Hala Madrid business, man. They handled biz. Pep the bold fraud. Listen, man, I love Pep as a manager. I think he's one of the best in the world. But when you've spent nearly £1 billion at Manchester City and you can't win a Champions League, you have to be questioned. It's as simple as that. You know, Klopp's won it. Tuchel's won it. He spent bigger money than most of these guys. So you got to put Pep down. In Europe, he's failed at Manchester City. Simple as that. Buenos dias. Buenos Aires Guna said, Curtis and C Unit. What a watch-along yesterday will be known as La Puta Madre watch-along. You know me, I don't like to swear, but I don't know too much Spanish, so there were curse words all over the place. I blame Buenos Aires, man. He's, you know, he only shows me the swear words. So, yeah, it was all going mad. I can't lie. Lawrence said, Kurt, I need therapy. Big Man City fan. Jeez. Listen, you think you need therapy. Wait till, you know, we've had some real suffering of the last 5 to 10 years. But, yeah, I hear you. You still probably win the title. Right, people. Let's get into some news. C Unit NG said, I had to take a break from work to watch. I'm so addicted to your channel. Hey, big up, man. Big up. Don't get in trouble at work, though, man. Deshaun said, Yaya Toure has cursed Pep. I see that, man. You know what I mean? They said, boy, you treat Yaya like that, man. We're gonna cuss you out, and your team's mash up now. So hey, we'll have to see. Couple things I want to get into today. Something I wanted to get into yesterday, actually. Manchester Hotspurs. I'm telling you, they bottled it proper. Was Josh Kroenke had a fans forum on Tuesday night where he spoke to a group of Arsenal fans that are always cherry picked, and it seems like you can't really ask him any real questions that are going to make life difficult for him. But he said a few things. I was going to get into this yesterday, but obviously Kev came on at the last minute, so we didn't get into it. I'm going to just skip through this quick. This is, you know, even more waffle. Big up to Peter Host, who was one of the guys there, who obviously put the quotes down of what Josh was saying. He said, Josh Kroenke said, it's been a roller coaster of a season. I say that with a smile on my face. To think back to where we were after 3 matches, Mikel and the team have done an amazing job stabilising the ship. I want to thank you guys for sticking with us for all the ups and downs. I mean, boy, I'm not even going to lie. I didn't stick with them for all of them. There were times I'd had enough. Yeah, the fans forum's mad. I just don't get how they cherry pick who kind of goes in there. I don't know. I don't know why it is. A lot of it's fan groups and things like that. I think Arsenal have to start opening their doors to sort of content creators, and you know the way even, I speak to some content creators of other clubs, and the football club allow them to go to the ground and preview games inside the stadium and talk to players. Arsenal is very much a closed ship. They don't want anybody involved. And I think they need to move with the times a little bit. Oh, Big Six Barbecue, I'm calling it tonight. Steve's going to be seasoned. He's getting cooked tonight. I'll be in the comments hammering him. I can't lie. But let's get into more waffle from Josh. He said, the support home and away has been unbelievable. I can feel and hear a whole new level of connection. I mean, bro, I'm not being funny. You hardly ever come to the Emirates, so don't start doing that. Oh, the connection feels so different from the other 4 times that you've been there in the past 3-4 years. I don't want to hear all that. He said, we've got plans in place to continue to strengthen the squad. Now having match day revenue and having fans back in the stadium has been great. Yeah, of course it has. Cha-ching, cha-ching, more money. We continue to provide whatever support we can for Mikel and continue to push the squad forward. It's so much just... His PA might have written this for him. It's like listening to a robot. It's really exciting to see the women's team coming along as well. Arsenal continue to be at the forefront. Yeah, women's team's doing great. Beat Tottenham last night, they did actually. Here goes, that's it. He chucks it over to Vinay. That's it. He's probably walked off now. Yeah, Vinay, just deal with this, will you, mate? I've had enough of talking to these fans, these legacy fans. Yeah, he's basically saying, yeah, we had no income, so that's why, we didn't. Although we did spend 150, but 100 million of that came out of the club. This could be a Mikel Arteta press conference, let's be honest. But Vinay's taken over already now. Vinay said the one constant this season is the support from the fans. Before the season, Mikel and I talked about how do we get the connection with the fans back, and I feel like it's really strong. I mean, seriously, man. Can they just talk to us like normal people? I want to know, are you trying to buy a striker in the summer? How much money have we got to spend? Are you going to fix the stadium? This is all just, their PA probably wrote all of this for them. Let's move. Vinay's waffling now. Oh, here we go. Given how much change happened last summer and given the age profile of the squad, the reality is with 4 games to go, we are a bit ahead of where we expected we would be. Now, that is interesting. Finally, you give us something to talk about. So basically, the man's saying they didn't expect top 4, which is why we said at the start of the season, Edu came out and said no targets, because no targets meant no pressure. If he came out and said, listen, we want top 4, we've spent the most in the whole of Europe, we're going for it, then if we finish 5th, 6th, 7th, he knows they would have got hammered. But he's letting us know that we're a bit ahead of where we expected to be. So he didn't expect Arsenal to be in a top 4 race. They expected probably top 6. Although he then goes on to say, we are still behind where we want to be. And that's competing to win the biggest trophies in the game. Now this is why I don't like these PR stunts that they do, talking to fans. It doesn't even look like they're letting people respond with questions. My question would be, Vinay, how do you propose you're going to get Arsenal to the level of Man City and Liverpool? You explain to me how that's going to happen, because I watched that Champions League game last night. Big up everyone who tuned in. You tell me how you get Arsenal to that level, because if Arsenal were playing Real Madrid last night or in a game of that level, I'd be doing the watch-along from behind the sofa. I'd be staring at the wall. I wouldn't even want to watch it. But they're not allowed to ask these questions. He said, we're still behind where we want to be, and that's competing to win the biggest trophies. Are you going to give us an explanation? How do you propose you're going to do that? That's what I want to know, but they won't answer that. He said, that's our focus this summer. How can we strengthen the squad? How can we get closer to competing? We are confident we are on the right path. And he goes on, delighted how Jonas has settled in with the women's team. That's their new coach. Another big objective has been to strengthen the relationship with ex-players. Quite a few have been to Colney to talk to our players. We are super proud of the community work we do. Like We're No Red. We also continue to help local businesses. I mean, listen, I'm not laughing because it's funny what they're saying. I'm just laughing because we're the ultimate PR football club. We really are. We're unbelievable at this. Oh, the connection with the fans. Like, bro, at the end of the day, you connect with a club when they do well. You don't have to do anything amazing. Fans have to look at their team and think, I'm proud of that team. That's where you get a connection. It's got nothing to do with, they haven't done anything that's brought a connection back. It's just because the team are fighting for top four. If we were eighth, there wouldn't be no connection. We'd all be screwing. Successful teams have connections, especially when that was the benchmark in the past. Eros said, I'm sorry, where's Enos? Isn't he the owner? Listen, that's been passed on. Stan don't have nothing really majorly to do with Arsenal anymore. This is Josh. He's just said, yo, son, just look after that little business in London for me, will you? Make sure it earns plenty of money. That's all they're doing, man. Nick said, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. South London's finest. Can't lie. Arsenal community work is elite. It is. It is. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not laughing at what they're talking about. They do great things in the community compared to a lot of the other clubs. I just want to hear some football talk. What are you doing on the pitch? He said, we continue the programme on investing in the stadium. We're on track to replace the big screens and work on the roof has begun. We're also working on how to speed up access to the stadium. I mean, the roof's leaking, apparently. You know, if you ever been to the Emirates, if you sit in about the first 10, 15 rows from the front and it starts raining, you might as well just go in your shower fully dressed. You are getting drenched, absolutely drenched. So the leaking roof, you can't hardly get Wi-Fi in the stadium. The food at Arsenal Stadium is dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And the paint's peeling off outside, and the screen is small. So, yeah, man, they need to sort out the stadium still. You know, they really do. There will be 8 episodes of All or Nothing. He said, I've seen 4. It's really good. It's going to be a real look behind the scenes. We're working on clarification on what happens at the FF and what happens on the advisory board. Both the FF and AB will continue. I mean, I don't even know what... I think that's the fans forum and the advisory board. But there you go. 8 episodes of All or Nothing. So you don't know if we're going to sign a top striker. You don't know how we're going to win the league. And but you know that there's 8 episodes of All or Nothing. So it's fine, people. You know, they don't want to know about contract renewals. They don't want to know about new signings. They don't want to know if Arteta's signing a new deal. But we're painting the stadium. We're fixing the roof that's leaking. And we're getting 8 episodes. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to cap. I'm not even going to cap. I can't wait to watch this documentary. I can't lie. Now, don't get me wrong. It will be edited. I'm sure Arsenal won't let it come out, you know, and just be hard hitting. They will say, take that out, take that out. But it's going to be mad. I'll be doing watch-alongs for that, by the way. That's going to be insane. So I'm not even going to cap. All or Nothing's going to be crazy. 8 episodes. That's the box set sorted for the autumn time. I can't lie. They did say that's the end of the fan forum, by the way. It's a shambles. Imagine turning up and that's all you got out of them. They did say it's expected out at the start of September. So it'll just be after the start of the season. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Vinay's probably already watched 4 and said, nah, take that out. Take that bit out, man. We're you know what I mean? We don't buy a striker in January. Get that out. So, pre-written speech with no real common sense. It's disrespectful to the fans. It is. It absolutely is. I think it should have been way more interactive than that. Where were the questions and the responses? But it is what it is. As I said, Arsenal are a very difficult club to get close to. You look at certain other clubs. I know a Liverpool content creator that goes into Anfield and creates content. We've seen Man United content creators in the press conference. Arsenal, they keep everyone at arm's length. They don't want nothing to do with us. So it is what it is, people. Yeah, if we do it on Twitch, we can probably even watch it as well, which will be epic, to be fair. Roman said you'll have to do a long watch along. See, I'll be watching the whole thing in one sitting. I'm telling you. I wonder if they'll release it all at once like that, or will it be weekly? I'm sure it'll all come out at once. I think the Spurs and the City one came out at once. So, right, short waffle from Josh and Vinay. They spoke like robots. They didn't really answer any questions. Did you expect anything different? Really, not really. Let's get into some transfer business anyway, since they don't want to talk about transfers. Tab said, let's keep Eddie. I mean, listen, Unless the Gunnosaurus is resigning, I don't see any point in keeping Eddie. I actually couldn't believe that Kev agreed that we shouldn't keep El Neni and Eddie Nketiah. For me, and let me just give you my reason why I wouldn't keep Eddie or Mohamed El Neni, because a lot of the thought process with the fan base, especially with El Neni, is El Neni's a good squad player, right? That's the general feeling. I think a lot of the fan base want Eddie gone. I look at El Neni and I think, okay, you can say keep him as a squad player, and that's fair enough. I understand that. But you get to a point in football where squad players sometimes become first-team players. You've got Thomas Partey, who's injury-prone. We've seen it. Every season gets injured. Could you rely on El Neni for 15 games in the Premier League and Champions League if we are in the Champions League? Imagine if we got Real Madrid away, or you've got Man City in the league. Is El Neni first-team level for Arsenal? I don't think he is. Yes, he can come in for 5-6 games. He might even help us get top 4. But I just don't think over a prolonged period of time that El Neni is good enough. People are comparing him to Milner. Milner's been levels above El Neni. Let me tell you that. Milner's been at Man City. He's been at Liverpool. He's won Champions Leagues. He's won titles. El Neni is not a bad player, but he's also not that good. And I think you've got to lift the whole level of the football club. He's been here 6 years. We know he's not particularly good. Yeah, you could give him another year, put him on the bench, give him 10 games a season. But what's the point? Why not get rid of him, bring in 2 quality midfielders and push Thomas Partey, and lift the level? Like people saying here, people like Sabitzer are available for 15 million, 40 million for Bissouma. There's value for money out there. If we hit Europa League, I would more understand El Neni being kept. Because Europa League, you just want to put the side dish players in for that. But not Champions League. And Eddie's just no chance I would keep him. Christian Lyle said, if we finish top 4, the Amazon documentary will break streaming records. Think about all the drama we've had this season. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable. Big up, Christian. Jamsey said, Curtis, you can't have 23 world-class players. You're right. You're right, Jamsey. But as I was saying, do we even have one world-class player at Arsenal? So I don't think I'm being greedy by saying let me let go of Mohamed El Neni. He's been at the club for 5-6 seasons. He's hit his ceiling. He's not going to get no better. Eddie's playing well at the moment. I still wouldn't keep him. He's just doing a job until we get somebody better in there at the end of the day. So I hear you can't have a squad full of monsters, but I would rather promote a young player than play El Neni, or I'd rather bring somebody in fresh and go for something else. Lem said, yes, Big C, Kevin Campbell was preaching yesterday. I agree with everything he said. Very expensive. Graham said, Curtis, replace El Neni and add Hickey, loan out Tavares. He said, replace him with Grealish. Add Hickey and loan out Tavares. Sign Sabitzer for another creative midfielder. These 3 will cost 30 million. Spend big in improving the first 11. The first signings that we make need to be players for me that go in the team. We need to boost the squad, but I want players that go into this team. I want a midfielder that goes straight next to Thomas Partey. Forget Xhaka. I don't care how good he's playing. He's reached his ceiling at Arsenal. If Xhaka's prepared to be a squad player, then stay as a squad player. But he can't be starting lineup next year. I want a new midfielder and Partey. I want a new striker up front. I want a right back that can challenge Tomiyasu, because we've seen over the last few days, look how important attacking fullbacks are. I want a new left back. I want Saliba back at Arsenal. So there's a lot of investment that's needed this summer. Gambian Guna said, I agree we need to move on from El Neni. It's more sentiment than quality. Look at what squad players like Gundogan, Sterling, Milner, Keita, Firmino, etc. The difference in quality is huge. 100%. We're very emotional Arsenal fans. I think it's because we've suffered a lot in the last decade. So when El Neni comes in, he gives everything for the shirt. He has 3 or 4 good games. People really connect. They think, I like El Neni, give him a new deal. He's cheap. Nah, that's why we've fallen down, because too often we've fallen into sentiment with your Holdings and players like that. To be at the top, like your Madrids, like your Man Cities, like your Liverpools, you've got to be harsh. Put the club first. El Neni, where would El Neni start in the Premier League? Mid-table or lower? Let him go. Bring in another player. Let's push the level of this football club up and show players that you can't stay at this football club by just being an average footballer. You got to be a top player. You know, you got to be able to bring players off the bench that are almost as good as the players you've got starting. We have too big of a drop from the starting lineup to the bench player. You've seen that with Tierney to Tavares, you know. So, yeah, we have to move. You have to be ruthless to be a top team. Look at Ancelotti, just binned Odegaard, binned Gareth Bale. That man got no care about sentiment. They really haven't. Falalu said, you know that Xhaka will start in the Champions League with Arteta. He'll probably be the captain. Let's be real. He'll probably make him skipper. FBM said, the problem is, can Arteta handle big players? We're going to find out. He hasn't handled them so far. I think Ozil did need to go. Aubameyang is a debate. But we'll have to see. Fit said, sorry, Big C, prepare yourself for disappointment. Arteta loves El Neni, Xhaka and Eddie. If Arsenal were levels, Arteta wouldn't even be our manager. The thing that I don't like is Arsenal are now putting out stories saying that Eddie's going to be offered a contract. You know, why are they going to try and keep him? And the way Arteta has spoken, he's going to try and keep Eddie at the football club. Now, that worries me because Eddie wouldn't stay unless there was guarantees of football. He should not be our first or our second choice striker next season. If he wants to stay as the young player and be the third choice, then maybe. But I don't think Eddie would stay as third choice. So if Eddie gets a new contract, I'll be panicking. I will be panicking because I could see Arsenal buying a striker and Eddie being second choice. And that worries me. I don't want Eddie as second choice if we're a Champions League club. What about Balogun? I mean, Balogun's had 6 months on loan. I think he needed the whole season, really. It depends what level he's at come pre-season, whether he's ready to go into the first team. I'm still not sure Balogun is ready to be a first-team player. I think he might need another loan. Neil said Jesus, Schick, Gnabry, Tchouameni and Hickey. I mean, there would be some great signings there. Big up One Rovers Vlogs for the support. Big up Curtis every time. Eddie won't stay anyway. He would be third choice at Arsenal. He wants to play. Eddie is gone. I mean, I hope you're right there. But what if he's second choice? He might put up with that. They might sign one and just bring him as the number two. Hi, Curtis and community. Just joined the stream but watching from the start. Said Michael, Carlo, C-Unit, Curtis, coincidence. Hey, we're moving, man. C-Unit business. Big up to you, Michael, man. Nick said, I think we're all going to be disappointed this summer. Kevin Campbell is right that we need 7 or 8. There's no way the Kroenkes are going to get the players we need. They're going to look for some cheap ones. There's no way you buy 7 or 8, expensive players. 2 or 3 of them may have to be cheap, may have to be free transfers. There are a lot of players out of contract this summer. And I think we're going to have to get creative with our transfer business. Right, while we're talking transfers, let's talk about this guy. This guy was the main topic of the show today. I'm hoping some of you have seen this guy before, and that is Moussa Diaby. Now, this story is running in quite a few outlets today and yesterday, so let me just remove my logo there so you can see the full thing. Moussa Diaby. I've actually got him in my FIFA squad. I am a pace merchant when it comes to FIFA. But Moussa Diaby, he said, Arsenal are making serious efforts to land Bayer Leverkusen winger Moussa Diaby. The 22-year-old has 16 goals and 13 assists for the German club this season. They would command a fee in the region of 75 million euros, which is about 60 million pounds, although I have read reports you could probably get him for around 50 million. As he has said he wants to move on possibly in the summer to help himself get in the French squad. Now, how good is he? How good is he, people? Let me know. I know he's been involved with the French under-21. Thing is, have we mashed up our connections in the French market? Is this one where he's going to say, you know what? Not worth it to go to Arsenal with the way we've treated French players. What about German tax? Well, we've seen it at times with your Timo Werners and that. People saying rather take Gnabry. Anthony said he is very talented. Curtis, he's ripping it up in Germany. 22, French. Shadow said I'd rather Nkunku. Nkunku obviously more of an attacking midfielder. Money laundering, said Lebowski. Bailey has flopped Bundesliga tax. I hear you on that. Cap said he's never seen him. Oz said, surely we can't be targeting Osimhen, Nunes and Diaby. Those three alone will cost 200 mil. Oz, for me, I think we'll buy one striker who will cost a lot of money. So I don't think we'd sign like Osimhen and Nunes. I think we'll get one who is cheap and a more expensive one. Or we'll buy a winger that can play central as well as a striker. Christian said the man is rapid, still has some technical growing. Get Gnabry and said Jamar. And this story goes on to say that he could be lined up as the replacement for Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal will be looking for 25 million for Pepe this summer. Believe that Diaby could come in for around 50 to 55 million, which you're looking at. If you sell Pepe for 25, you buy him for 55. You're effectively looking at Pepe plus 30 million. Not that Pepe's going directly to Leverkusen. So how good is he? For anybody that watches Bundesliga a little bit, let me know. I've only seen him play a few times and YouTube. So he looks quick. He looks exciting. Doesn't look the finished article to me. And is he worth 50, 55 million pounds? Let us know. Young Nizzle said, Curtis Diaby is a good baller. He's part of Leverkusen's top 4 battle. Got his France caps in 2021. PSG Academy graduate. Overall, a very good player and only 22. Give it some thought, said Jesus and Gakpo. E. Ross said, tax equals brown bags. Is this another one? Get Rafinha from Leeds, said Jarman. Listen, I think a lot will depend on what division Leeds are in. You know, with the price, I think we reported before he has a relegation release clause. So if Leeds went down, you'd get Rafinha cheaper. Moussa Diaby is not good enough. I prefer we keep Pepe, said Andy. Aqua Life said, Curtis, if they're ready to spend 60 on 70 mil on him, I'd rather spend that on Gnabry. I've got to be honest, without seeing enough of him and what I have seen of him, I'd be going for Serge Gnabry, right? Now, I know there's no guarantees we can get Gnabry. Gnabry might turn around and say, listen, I'm at Bayern Munich, biggest club in Germany, I'm staying. Everything I'm reading is that Gnabry might not stay, right? Unless Bayern Munich put that offer up to what he thinks he's worth. I would try and go for somebody like Serge Gnabry. I think this kind of transfer with Diaby at that price, you're risking having a Pepe part 2. This is a guy that hasn't really ripped up European football yet in terms of like Champions League and stuff. Hasn't played that much for France. So he's doing well in the German league. I don't think that warrants going and dropping 55 million pounds or 60 million pounds on him. So for me, he looks exciting. He looks lively. But if Arsenal are going to go and spend 60 million on a winger, I think we need to be as close to certain as we can be that we're signing a ready-made player. And this, for me, is too risky. So, yeah, I went on YouTube before. He looks very exciting. He looks quick. But for me, the price is too high for him. And it's a risky one. People saying Jared Bowen. I mean, Jared Bowen's having a good season. I like him. I know Broads is always capping in the comments for him. You're looking at Jared Bowen. You're looking at Serge Gnabry. You're looking at Rafinha. You could look at Raheem Sterling. I think Sterling could leave City this summer. Those are the kind of wingers I'd be looking for. I think this is too risky. So for me, I like the stats. The stats look good. 29 goal contribution. 60 million pound. Not for me. Not for me. I wouldn't go near that deal. Don't get me wrong. There's always a chance he could go somewhere and be an absolute monster. And we're sitting here in 6 months going, we made a mistake. But it's too risky. We cannot afford Pepe part 2. Yeah, I got to be honest. I like Jared Bowen. I like him. He's quick. He's hardworking. He's two-footed. He's got goals in him. I think he is a very good player. I like him. I definitely like him. You know, Serge Gnabry, all day long, I would pay 50, 60 million for him. All day long. Sterling, I've said many times I would take him because he scores goals. He's played in the Champions League. He's won trophies. I would take him as well. The wage would probably put people off. Rude said Jared Bowen is dead. I think Jared Bowen's decent. I got to be honest. I think he's decent. But he'd be expensive. I Am King said Pace Merchant's better. We look into Doku at Rennes. He's 19 and quick. And yeah, and he would be cheaper. He would be cheaper. I remember seeing him he played for Belgium, I think, didn't he? Was it in the Euros or the World Cup? And he was absolutely rapid. And I think they're saying 20, 25 million. If you're going to buy a player like that, then you got to be paying those prices, not 60, 70 million. Vegas Gunner said, a French player, probably fake news as long as Arteta is manager. I hear you on that. Have we ruined our relationships in the French market? Jared Bowen would cost 120. The way David Moyes rates his players, he'd probably ask for that for him. Would you take Rashford? Oh, you're going to start off a whole debate here that I'm trying to avoid. Listen, I've said many times, and I stick by it. I still think there's a good player in Marcus Rashford. I think he needs a change. I think he needs to leave Man United. I think sometimes when you play for a football club in the city that you're born, it becomes like a goldfish bowl and everyone's, just watching. I think Rashford needs to leave, go somewhere else. I wouldn't rush to get him. He wouldn't be at the top of my list. But I wouldn't necessarily say no. And I know most of the community don't agree with it. Young Nizzle's saying I need a timeout. Listen, he wouldn't be at the top of my list. He wouldn't. But I wouldn't, if we signed him, I wouldn't be unhappy. I actually wouldn't. Gio, big up, bro. Hey, Milan, top of the league. You could be winning the title. Said, Curtis, Jared Bowen's coming to Milan. We're about to be bought by Investcorp. They're willing to splash the cash. Maldini has already phoned up Jared. I like Jared Bowen, man. I do. I think he's a good player. And I don't think it's a one-off season either. I feel like he's at that level. I mean, 10 goals, 8 assists. Not bad in a counter-attacking team. 25. He's got 3 goals in the Europa League as well. 14 goals and 10 assists. You can't turn your nose up at that, man. You need wide players that can score goals. Time out for Curtis. Oh, man. I know what you're saying, man. But man said I think Rashford doesn't need a change. He needs to retire. People don't rate him at all, do they? I get it. But I do think there is some talent there, I'm telling you. Buenos Aires Guna would love Chiesa to be our winger. I like him, man. I think he's injured, isn't he? Snake Eye said, just like Pepe, Rashford needs a change of environment. 100%. Rion said, would you take Raheem Sterling? I would, but it's the wage. That's the only problem. The wage is the problem. I think he's on nearly 300 grand a week. Is he going to take a pay cut? Probably not. And I don't think Sterling is worth 300 bags a week. That's my only problem. FBM, people don't like the Rashford talk. Dre said Rashford will be a different player next year under tag your it. I said tag your it, Bowen is so overrated. He scores easy goals, nothing special. We should go for Gordon from Everton. One thing for me, I don't believe there's such thing as an easy goal in football. It might be easy in terms of the finish. You might go, oh, that's a tap-in, 7 yards out. I don't think there's any such thing as an easy goal in football because it takes know-how, timing to get those tap-ins. So it's easy to go, oh, Bowen's goals all look like tap-ins. I think there's a good player there. I think the problem is you would pay a lot of money for him, and the English tax, Moyes would hammer you on the English tax. No pun intended, hammer West Ham and all of that. But I think you'd pay 70 million for him. Gordon will cost us with the English tax. The thing with Gordon is a live wire, but he hasn't done anything. So people saying don't buy Bowen, but buy Gordon. But Gordon hasn't done anything. He just looks lively. He's quick. He's direct. He hasn't put up numbers for them. Bowen's got the CV there. Bowen's got, like I just said, 14 goals and 10 assists. You can't turn your nose up at that. And he's come up the hard way through the championship and all that. I'd rather take Podence than Bowen. Listen, see, there's a crazy thing in football now. Podence, for me, is an absolute baller. Every time I watch that guy play against Arsenal, I'm like, yo, this is like watching Eden Hazard. There's something about this guy special. But then you look at the numbers, and his numbers don't reflect it. And I know we always say, don't just go off numbers. It has to be the eye test plus the numbers. Now, for example, Podence last year, 3 goals, 2 assists in 24 games. This year, 25 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 goal contribution. last season and 5 goal contribution this season. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you get these players to a better team, better environment, and you get more out of them. I do like Podence. He's very good. But he's not getting the numbers. That's the problem. Rafinha is the truth. I like Rafinha. He gives me like Mahrez vibes, that tall left foot. He's got 10 goals in the league this year, 3 assists in a team that could get relegated, and he's 25. Listen, there's options. There is options. If we let Pepe go, there is options out there. You've got to get that balance of eye test and numbers, because wingers nowadays have to score goals. That's just the reality. It ain't like when Beckham and them, man, were getting 3 goals a season. You need wingers to get double figures now. So it's a mix. Someone just said there, and you're right, that's a great point, Arteta Tax. Jota's numbers have gone through the roof since going to a better team. So maybe a Podence comes here, all of a sudden he gets 13, 14 goals. Sometimes you need that better environment, that better team. There's loads of options. There's loads of options out wide, you know. Bowen, Sterling, Gnabry. There's loads. There's no excuse for Arsenal not to get a decent winger in this summer. Vishal said, I would take Leandro Trossard from Brighton. Great utility player. I like him, but I don't think he takes us up another level. I don't think he even gets in our team, to be honest. Maybe you get him as a squad player. Jota didn't have numbers at Wolves. Yeah, it is. It's a good point. It is a good point. Podence is more of a creator than a goal scorer. I'm just thinking, where would you play him in the Arsenal team? Do you play him out wide? Do you play him in the 10? Bring Serge home. That exact kind of experience we need. Serge Gnabry would be that signing that I think would lift the whole fan base. I think it would cause massive excitement. That, to me, is the one that we need to go and get. He would be the signing. He's on less wages than Sterling. That would be the one. Graham said, I think Nkunku is going to Bayern Munich. Gnabry will be sold. Potential opportunity to sign him. Listen, I think they only want 40, 50 mil for him. He's got a year left. And Nkunku scoring so many goals that I've seen the links to Bayern Munich. I think they're signing Gravenberch as well. Gnabry excites me, man, definitely. Would you go for Zaha again? I wouldn't. I love Zaha. I've wanted him at Arsenal for years. I just think we've waited too long. We should have signed him when we got Pepe. Paul needed Rashford for 25 mil, Bowen for 65. Thing is, I think Rashford would cost more than 25 mil. That's the only problem. Top 5 out-of-contract players you would take. I actually had a list, not of the top 5 players that I would take, but I had a list of out-of-contract players. I think I had 10 on the list. Oh, yeah, I've got a few here. In fact, no, not 10. So I had some of these may sign new contracts, of course. So you got Dybala at Juve. I had Rudiger down, but obviously Rudiger's gone. Brozovic. I think he might have signed a new contract as well. Di Maria, but I think Di Maria's too old now. You got Dembele as well from Barca, but again, he might sign a new contract. Where's the rest of them? I've ripped the paper. But yeah, Di Maria for me is too old. I wouldn't take him. Dybala is signing for Inter. There's players out there that you could get on a free that, oh yeah, that's it. Pogba was the other one. But I think Pogba goes elsewhere as well on big money. Brozovic signed a new deal, so that one. A lot of these free transfers will sign new contracts. I think Dybala is definitely one of the main ones that is going to leave on a free. But a lot of the fan base. Tolisso. I like Tolisso, you know, but injury prone. That's the only thing. I've always liked Tolisso, but very injury prone. Alvin, I've said it, man. I would take Paul Pogba. I would take Paul Pogba at Arsenal. I'm telling you now. I think Pogba and Partey could work, but he's going to go PSG or Madrid or Juventus, so I think that one's out the window. I didn't know Tolisso was out of contract, though. That is a good one. Another player we're being linked with, before I get back to the comments, people, is a young French midfielder. And but can we get these kind of players? Is our reputation ruined in the French market? Now, let me make sure I get his name right. I was calling him Tchouameni, but I believe it's Tchouameni. Dimarzio has said on Tchouameni, a lot of clubs in the Premier League are following him. Arsenal and Man United to name two. He would like to play in the Premier League. He stayed at Monaco for another year to await a chance to play in the Prem. I think what Monaco did is say, look, give us one more year, we sell you next year. Liverbird always comes in aggressive, you know. Just relax, man. Go easy on us. Let us dream. He said, oh dear, Big C, Tchouameni has offers on the table from Madrid and Liverpool, setting yourselves up for embarrassment. Vlahovic settings again with the man not answering the phone calls. Listen, we have to dream. I remember when we was linked with Pepe, people said, stop talking about it. He's going Bayern Munich. They was all over him. Next minute, he was holding up the shirt. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm only reporting what's out there. Number one, they're saying he wants to come to the Prem, right? Number two, he wants guarantees of first-team football. Now, does he walk straight into the Liverpool team? I don't know. You've got Fabinho, you've got Henderson, you've got Keita, you've got Thiago. You know, listen, it's not likely, but he's a very good player. You know, I was saying yesterday on the watch-along, man, Camavinga, I just think he's going to be a superstar. Every time I watch him play, I'm like, wow, look at the way he deals with the ball. Tchouameni is a beast, and apparently Pogba has told him that he should come to the Prem as well. But we'll have to see. Listen, I think if we're in the Champions League, we can get into these conversations and try and get these players. Yeah, a lot of people saying Vlahovic. I see a video clip of Vlahovic the other day. I think the Juventus crowd were jeering him as he came off the pitch, and he's struggling. He's getting dragged off. He isn't scoring. You know, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Maybe he should have come to the Prem. Let's have a look at Vlahovic's stats. 6 goals in 15 games, you know. Not quite as easy over there at Juve, is it? He had 17 in 21 at Fiorentina, 6 in 15 at Juventus. So, yeah, doesn't look quite as good now, does he, Daily Dusan? I hope he has a stinker at Juventus. Vlahovic found his level. Maybe that was his level. Sambi is as slow as a wet week, never wants the ball. Dusan Fraudovic. Big C, would you take Pogba? As I said, yeah, on a free. Paul Pogba, mate, bring him to the carpet. Bring him in. Said he was an Arsenal fan growing up. Loves Thierry Henry. Exactly. He's playing centre mid with Fabregas at Monaco. Fab, just give him a nudge. Let him know the carpet's a good place to play. And we get him in. Yeah, that Dusan. Listen, you know me, people. I'm shameless. I don't even hide it. I did Daily Dusan for 30 days in January. When he signed for Juventus, I just said I didn't want him anyway. He's just a B-Tech Olivier Giroud with no pace. He's all left-footed. I never rated him. If he'd have signed for us, I'd say he's nearly as good as Haaland. It's shameless settings, people. I don't even hide from it. Yeah, man said sounding like the bitter ex with Deuce. Nah, he's washed up, man. He's too slow. You know me. I want pace merchants on FIFA. What is he, 70 pace? He's just a tall, lanky Giroud. Never wanted him anyway. Susan Fraudovic. Yeah, never rated him. Never rated him, mate. 6 in 15 is good. That's a goal every 2.5 game. Nah, not good enough, mate. I want 1 in 2. Otherwise, we're not even having a conversation. Allegri is killing Vlahovic. Barely lets him pass the halfway line. Don't let these bitter, salty Arsenal fans think he's been crap when Juve's team is awful. He's rubbish, mate. Never rated him. B-Tech Giroud at best. Shameless FC, we don't even hide from it, people. You know them ones. We don't even hide from it. Let's get some comments in before we start rounding. It'll be a shorter show today, probably around 50 minutes. Yeah, I've always rated him settings, and then if he don't sign, I never rated him. He's done it again, that Dusan Lee Judge's settings, man. Would you take Tuchel over Arteta? Listen, I think Tuchel is a better manager than him because he's won the Champions League. But he's not pulling up trees in the Prem, considering the squad he's got and the fact he bought a £100 million striker. But he is better than Arteta. Let's be real. He is better than Arteta. He's a Champions League winner. When you win a Champions League, you got to be considered a very, very good manager. Unless it was a fluke, but I don't think it is. Daily Susan, I'm telling you, man. Tuchel is like Emery, awful league manager, great cup manager. Yeah, good point. maybe as a cup manager, because I haven't been that impressed with him in the league at Chelsea. I think a lot of us expected Chelsea to be in a title challenge this year, and they don't look great. They really don't. We've actually won more games than Chelsea this season in the Prem, which is unbelievable. Real Ting, Big C, Snake Eye said, Big C, if City stopped the cross yesterday, they'll be in the final. I told them all them weeks ago. Man City, stop the cross. And you don't stop the cross. Carvajal, who I was ripping apart the whole game yesterday, puts a peach in, and there you go. Your whole team's mash up now. And I said it yesterday, people, and you can clip me on this. I think City are going to bottle the Premier League now as well. I really do. I think Pep's head's gone. I don't think the Prem excites him. He's won it 3 times out of 4. I think he was desperate for that Champions League. And I can see City bottling the Prem. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool win the quadruple. I'm telling you now. Peter Nolan said, Big C, I can see you doing daily Raheem over the summer. You seem to love him. Listen, Sterling is... You look at the numbers, what he's produced. Now, don't get me wrong. Playing out wide for City, playing out wide for Arsenal is not the same thing. Manchester City create so many chances. But this brother gets numbers. And you need numbers. People telling me Sterling's been awful this season, right? This is the general narrative. Sterling's been awful this season. All right, let me look at this. Sterling. He's played 27 games this year, 19 starts, and eight times he's come off the bench. He's got 10 goals and 3 assists in the league. And he's got 3 goals in the Champions League as well. So he's got 13 goals and 4 assists this season without even being a main starter. Last season, he got 14 goals and 9 assists, 23 goal contribution. Year before, he ripped it up, 20 goals. In fact, he got 27 goals in 2019 with 8 assists. He produces numbers. But the problem is the 300 grand a week. LEM said, Curtis, the reality is I think we'll sign 4 or 5 max. Who and where should we prioritise? Man said I love Sterling because of Jamaican bias. Honestly, I don't. It's not even that. Big up Sam, who said he's got COVID. Hope you get well soon. He said, your streams keep me going alone in my bedroom during isolation. Feels like I can connect with the community as I can't talk to anyone a lot. Hey, big up Sam. This is what the community is about. Togetherness. People in all different parts of the world, different circumstances. Some people alone, some surrounded by people. Community brings us together. We can have honest and solid football debate. So get well soon. Big up, bro. Hope we can lift your spirits. Liverbird said Sterling would be a great signing because we don't have an experienced winger at the football club. I think sometimes when you're going into the Champions League, you don't want a bunch of puppies going into the Champions League with your Smith Rowes and your Sakas. As much as they're great players, I think you need an experienced winger with that know-how. You can't buy know-how, you know. Jake said, I'm not Jamaican and I love him as a player as well. There you go. You know, he's a goal scorer. Aqualife said, Curtis, would bringing in Gnabry make Saka hesitant to sign a new contract? I mean, that can hinder his growth from his point of view. Thanks for the channel. I'd be saying to Saka, okay, fair enough. You're not happy that Serge Gnabry's coming in. I'd say, so where are you going to go then? Right? I wouldn't say it like this to him, but I would say, if you go to Man City and you play right wing, you've got to compete with Riyad Mahrez. And also Sterling can play there. Also, Bernardo Silva can play there. If you're going to go to Liverpool, they got Mo Salah out there. So you can't play for any top-level football club and think that that shirt is just going to be your shirt. Now, the honeymoon period is over, bro. All that guaranteed your shirt at Arsenal, that's about to change because we're going Champions League. The level's about to go up. Unless you're a superstar, you should not be guaranteed a shirt at Arsenal. So I'd be saying to Saka, this is where we're going to figure out how high you can go in your career. Let's face it, Saka can play left wing. He can play right wing. He's versatile. Gnabry might be able to play through the middle, play on the left. We need options. We need to be able to say, you know what? Saka can go on the bench this week. That's the way football works out, people. Sometimes... yeah, you have to embrace that challenge. I've been through it, even at much lower levels. I was a striker. player comes in the dressing room, sits down. Everyone's like, oh, who's this guy, man? Or you might even know him. And he's a striker and you think, damn, this guy's got 15 goals last season. He's going to be a problem. Now, what do? Do you sulk, go home, moan to your agent? Oh, guess what? They've signed another striker. Or what do? You get your head down, you work hard on the training ground, and you'll push your own level up to the next level. As I've said many times, Luis Diaz has pushed Sadio Mane's level higher. Sadio Mane was having an okay season until January. Not bad, but not at his peak. Diaz turned up. Mane said, boy, you know what? If I don't fix up, I'm getting replaced. Because Jota can't stop scoring. Salah can't stop scoring. And Luis Diaz looks like an absolute problem. And all of a sudden, Mane won AFCON, got to the World Cup, starts banging goals in left, right and centre. Lifted his level. That is elite competition, elite sport. We had that kind of rotation when we were successful. We had Wiltord on the bench, World Cup winner, Kanu on the bench, ballers that you could bring on. Saka is a very good young player. I think he can really reach the top, but he should not be guaranteed a shirt. I want to see him challenging with Gnabry and people like that. Gnabry and Jesus and Saka all interchangeable, 100%. Then you got your Odegaard, you got your Martinelli, you got your Smith Rowe. Competition will lift the level of this football club. When you know you're guaranteed the shirt, you can get away with having 2 bad games because guess what? He ain't going to take me off. I haven't trained well this week. Yeah, but I'll start. You need to be pushed in life and especially in football. Curtis, you could make it into the Arsenal squad. Hey, listen, if only, man, if only. A healthy competition, exactly. Liverbird said, you guys need some players with trophy-winning experience. It's vital for youngsters to get over the line in big games and tournaments. Preach it. You need winners. I saw an interview with Torreira where he said he was overwhelmed when he sat in between Mesut Ozil and Aubameyang when he joined us. He said, I watch these guys on TV and I've used them on FIFA, he was talking about. Now, if you joined Arsenal now, and this isn't being disrespectful to Arsenal, because I'm an Arsenal fan. If you was a footballer now and you joined Arsenal, would you be overwhelmed by any of them players? Would you sit in that dressing room and go, yo, Granit Xhaka's over there. Yo, I can't even look at him. You ain't going to be like, are you going to sit there and you look around, you go, all right, some good youngsters, yeah, a couple experienced players. I'd be sitting there going, I reckon I can be the best player at this club. If you're a serious baller, I'd be if I'm Gnabry and I come to Arsenal, I'd sit down, I'd go, yeah, I can be the best player here. I can be the top boy. Do you know what I mean? Imagine signing for Arsenal 15 years ago. Oh my God, who am I sitting next to? Whose peg's that? Oh, it's Patrick Vieira. I can't even look at him. It's Big Vieira. It's Big Paddy Vieira. Who's over? Oh, look, Thierry's here. You know what I mean? I can't even look at him. You ain't going to feel like that now. I'm sitting in the Arsenal dressing room. Oh, Granit Xhaka. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, oh, who's that? Eddie Nketiah. He's on the phone again. Yeah, oh, right, yeah, I'll be the best player straight away. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. You ain't going to be overwhelmed anymore. Nothing overwhelming sitting between Eddie and Xhaka. I'm telling you, bro, there ain't nothing overwhelming there. It's all changed. You need match winners. I want Champions League winners. I want league winners. People who know how to get you over the finish line. I think if we'd had more winners in our squad, we would already be in the Champions League. Like, we'd have already beaten Brighton and them teams and got top 4. But because we haven't, our inexperience at times has cost us. Latte said, yo, I'm excited. Xhaka's up. Bruv, come on. You know, bruv. Imagine sitting in the Arsenal. If I walked down the street and saw Granit Xhaka, I'm not even sure if I'd really speak to him. I'd be like, oh, yeah, Xhaka. All right, cool. I don't think it's even worth me getting a picture. I'll just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be that interested. Final story before we get out of here, people. I do have to go shortly, so I'm going to round up. Thomas Partey was asked on Twitter, when will you be back from injury? There was a picture of him and Tomiyasu. Now, Thomas Partey, this was 3 days ago, May the 2nd. He put Tom times Tom soon with laughing emojis. Now, we're an emotional fan base. You can't play games with us. Yeah, don't put laughing emojis if you ain't back on the pitch before the end of the season, because I ain't in the mood for them jokes. Are you back this season, Tom? That's all I want to know. Because if you're putting laughing emojis, I'm expecting you back for 2 or 3 games. So is Thomas Partey going to make a shorter, a sooner than we thought return from injury? Hopefully. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully. Yeah, he can't be laughing. We're trying to get top 4. He can't be joking about it. So I'm hoping he gets back sooner rather than later. Man said it's the tweets, Curtis. Curtis clutching at straws, I'm telling you. That's all we got right now. What do you have if you don't have hope, you know? We need to raise the internal competition to raise our form on the pitch consistently, 100%. And big up Dre as well in the chat, who says Partey taking us for fool. Maybe he's chilling at home, Indomie noodles, and he's just, let me play around with this emotional fan base. Probably not back for 3 months. But anyway, people, I am out of here. I may do a watch-along today. I'm going to put a poll up. If you want to see the West Ham Frankfurt watch-along, I'll put a poll up, vote on it. I mean, I'm not overly hyped for the game, but if the community wants it, maybe we'll run with it, Don't worry about it. It is a Europa League semi-final. So I'll put that on the community page and let me know if you want to see that later. Big up to everyone for tuning in. 1,600 of you in the chat. Lick down that like button on the way out. And you know what? Somebody just put there, we hit 44K. I didn't even realize. So big up to everyone who has subscribed and everyone who's been rocking from day one. 44K. The community continues to get built. And really appreciate all your support. Enjoy the rest of your day. Look out for the poll. Let me know if you want that watch along later. I'll either see you later or we'll be back tomorrow with another Arsenal stream. Take care, everyone, and I will see you soon. Bless.